Yay! Hi, stream! Is there anyone there? I can't see you, so Tamás will have to tell me if someone is writing something on the chat. So please type.
Kids, be safe.
Okay. But hang on, before we start. So before we start, hi chat, hi everyone. What did I want to say? Yeah, so this is our very first episode of Honest Mixtape. And hi, I'm Kate. So I think you know what you're about to see, but if you don't, the basic idea is that I'm gonna learn to play different instruments. Today we're gonna start with drums, and I have Tamás with me, who is now not in the picture, but we made a little intro video for him, so you will get to know him before we start this whole thing. So I'm gonna head to my laptop and then show you the video, so get ready, it's gonna be super fun.
Hi, my name is Tamás, and I play the drums. I've been playing the drums since my teen years, which means 25 years. I did play the piano a bit before that, but drums just sounded cool. And I had a friend who was selling his drums, and I thought, okay, that's my chance. So I convinced my parents to buy me the drums, and that's how it started. I was listening to Scooter and Blümchen and rave and hardcore until someone introduced me to Marilyn Manson, and that was my intro to metal. That's when I started listening to Marilyn Manson, Metallica, I guess quite a usual progression to metal in the 90s. It all happened during the summer break when my high school friends lost saw me before summer. I was, a raver. I had orange t-shirts, and then when I came back in September, I had long hair, a leather jacket, and dress all in black, with boots and everything. We've been living in an apartment block on the second floor, and that's where I had my drums first. Like 20 years later, I did apologize to my neighbors. It was probably super annoying and definitely super loud. In about a year, we rented a rehearsal room. I just took my drums there, and then peace was restored in our apartment block. So with cover bands, what I usually do, just listen to the songs and do a simplified drum tab for myself, which can be as simple as chorus verse, but I usually put the kick snare pattern down on the paper, and then when we start playing the covers, I usually play from my notes, and then over time I slowly get familiar with the songs, and by the gigs I don't need the tabs anymore. My first band was with one of my high school friends and another friend of mine. I think we immediately started playing our own songs instead of doing covers. After that was a prog metal band with lots of influences. Dream Theater, Fate's Warning. After that, I started branching out to more technical stuff. This really technical math metal, I don't even know what to call. And then at the same time I started doing more pop stuff as well. There was a band where we tried doing my own songs, and we had 1 or 2 gigs. Of course, I had lots of company bands throughout the last 20 years, different companies I worked with. Today I have the Geckos. I think you're going to see some of those guys as well. My first serious band was Neverwood in my late teens, early 20s. I'm still good friends with all those bandmates, and we even did a reunion a couple years ago. We started reconnecting with one new song that was kind of like, a reintroduction to each other after 15 years or so. We liked working together again. Then COVID hit, and we thought, okay, let's do a COVID song. I live in the UK, the guys live in Hungary, so the idea came after we just had a meeting back in Hungary. I came back to the UK, our keyboard player, Hayates, wrote the song as usual. We asked a lot of our friends and a lot of people we knew if they want to play on that song, if they want to sing, and then everyone started recording their parts at home. I think at the end we ended up more than 10 musicians in a one single song. They started sending their parts to me, where I put the whole song together. I recorded the drums at home, so it's all electric drums. It's not as loud as live kit and much easier to record. Easier on the neighbors as well. Because we had so many singers and so many guys, it was really a nightmare to mix that song, but I think the end result was something we are proud of. It's a cool one, yeah, just listen to it. Play the drums.
Alright, Tamás, come on. You're up. So, how do you start?
What
What's
do you know
this?
about drums?
Nothing. Pretend that I know nothing about the whole thing. How do I start?
The two main parts of the drum kit are the kick drum, this big one. You kick it with your feet. You can try it. Yeah. And the snare, which is this one. Hit it with this arm. Also, before we do that,
Yeah.
you need to pick up your stick.
Yeah.
You can do it 3 different ways.
Mm-hmm.
One way. So first, hold it so it's kind of balanced, right? So you don't want to hold it too far to the back, because then it's very uncomfortable and you will just throw it away. And you don't want to hold it there, because then you will have no strength. So you want to find a nice balance point and hold it there, right? You can try it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if you want a bit more power, you can hold it a bit farther back. And if you want full control, then you want to hold it at the balance point, right? I would do something like that. It's a bit behind the balance point for this specific kind of drumsticks.
Mm-hmm.
Then the next thing, you can hold it like that. This is called the American grip, and probably that's the most ergonomic, because your wrist can do this motion very naturally, right? So like that. This is kind of what I would suggest. So like this is how you hit the drums. Then there's German and French, and then gradually they go more and more like this. But this is not a very natural motion, I think. And then of course there's classical, but that's I think we shouldn't start going into that, because that should take very long. So probably the takeaway now is try holding it like that, where you can do this very natural motion with your arm, right?
Mm-hmm.
There you go. And then the first thing you want to do is, do you know like quarters? 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the most basic pattern is you hit the kick drum on 1, snare drum on 3. Try that. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. So the next thing is you add your right hand and hit each quarter on this guy. So you can
And who's this guy?
can close this and open this up with your left leg. So put your left leg there. So this is called the hi-hat.
Uh-huh.
And it can be closed or opened up. If it's closed, close it. this has this short percussive sound, and if you open it, it's a more thrashy sound. Yeah. So for this exercise, just keep it pushed down. So it's short and snappy, and just try hitting 1, 2, 3, 4 there, while
Just
doing
on
1
the
and
side,
3.
or where do I hit it? On the side, like on the edge.
Usually hit it with this part of the stick on the side. But if you want a more like lighter sound, you can hit it with the tip. It's a different sound.
Okay. So.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Wait, hang on. Okay, this is where it gets complicated.
All right. Before we do anything,
Yeah.
do you want to adjust the height of the snare drum?
I have no idea.
You don't want it too low, because then every time you hit it, you're going to hit your leg. No, I think this is quite low. So I would try raising a bit.
So do it then. I'm gonna have to do this when you're not here, so yeah. Okay, hang on. So go on. Hang on. Huh? Ah, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
So the next thing you want to be a bit more mindful is when you hit. So 3 basic things. So first, you can move the stick with your fingers. Then you can move the stick from your wrist, and you can move the stick, with your arm. The arm is the strongest motion, so it's going to be the loudest, but it's the slowest one as well. So usually you want to do a combination of this. And for this simple, rock beat, you want power. So what you want to do is, it's called a molar motion. It's like a whip. So you want to move your whole arm, then wrist, like that. Obviously that's a bit exaggerated, but the point is, don't just play from your wrist. And that and that's mainly for your snare. I'm just showing it like this because this is where I'm sending. But yeah, so this is how you should hit the snare drum, with this motion. Right?
Am I supposed to do the big motion with the snare?
For the snare, yeah.
But I have my other hand in a way.
Where when there's the main beat you want to emphasize, you want to do that. So usually you do it on the one, on the hi-hat as well, like 1, 2, 3, or 1 and 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2.
Confused looks.
If there's not enough space to lift it, that means you need to lift that a bit more as well. And before now, just focus on the beat. I think it's good. You can try putting a bit more power to the snare, but it's okay. Just hit it. Angry. Do you want to do the next step towards the first beat of
Yes.
Smells Like?
Yes.
So the full beat is, I can show you the full beat.
Show me how it's done. It is much louder than what I did.
And it's not, that's not like studio loudness. Studio loudness is like. This is like a nice practice volume. So there's two important parts for now. There's no hi-hat on every quarter note, which means I think personally that it's harder. I know that when I started drumming, this kind of beat was always much harder because I didn't have a steady flow of something to keep me on the beat, because it's half time. So what I suggest for now is keep the quarters on the hi-hat, and then once everything else is fine, you can try removing, every second quarter. And the other thing is the snare is not just hitting on 3, but there's some other things going on there. So I think what we should practice now is just adding one more snare. We need to move the camera. That's not another good place.
Better.
So
Next time.
one and two and three and four. So it comes between 4 and the 1.
The first one is on 3, yeah?
So it's 1 hi-hat only, then 2 hi-hat only, then 3 both at the same time, 4 hi-hat only, and then
4
snare only,
yeah?
and then 1 again.
And
4 and yeah.
Drums are frustrating. Okay, 4 and by the time I get to 4, I completely forgot what I'm supposed to be doing.
Ready for the next step. The next step is adding an additional snare on one end.
Okay.
And then the whole phrase now will become 8 quarters, not 4. You can slow it down if you want. You don't need to play this fast. Yeah, it's just yeah.
It just feels easier if I'm going with the song rather than the counting. Once I figure out what I'm actually supposed to hit.
On the second 4 beats, try adding a kick on the 2 as well. So there's a kick on 1 and there's a kick on 2 as well.
So the second one is
Yeah. Yeah. You keep going back to French grip.
I know. Hang on, one thing at a time. Yeah, I'm focusing on that first, and then
The only
okay.
reason why I mention it because once it's ingrained, it will be much harder to change, and it's not very good on the joints long term. If you want like a condensed version, what you can try practicing is like with that's basically, it has everything what you will need in that beat. So if we just practice, then maybe it will be easier to then split it. And
That's easy.
and kick
that's the hard part.
and kick on everything full, 1, 2, and 4. So every
1, 2,
quarter except when you hit the snare.
I can do it separately. Now I just have to
Now you
put
just
the
need
two
to put it
together.
together. Now maybe you can try just the hi-hat and the kick, like. So, 1, 2, 4. And now try to hit the snare when there's a hole. Now try to hit the extra part. Slowly. What was
That was the
extra
end.
snare?
That was the end. 4 end. No?
No.
The second 4.
So the actual beat is. So the only missing part from the previous exercise is in the actual beat there's a kick on the 4 as well. So kick on 1, snare on 3, then snare on 4 then snare on 1, snare on 1 end, then kick on 2, snare on 3, kick on 4. I think we definitely need a whiteboard where we can do some tabs.
Yeah.
I think now you entered the phase where your body starts to remember what you want to do, but your mind is playing catch up, and that's where you miss the beat. Because you did the right thing and then you stopped, and that's what? Because your mind didn't catch up. So now try to just, now that your body starts remembering this motion, try to let it just go. Don't overthink it.
Overthinking is my middle name.
There's no snare there.
I know!
Seriously, play it slower.
Yeah.
If you screw it up, don't stop. Just keep going, you will recover in the next beat. You can always fall back to just 1, 3, 1, 3. That's your fallback. If you forget something or screw it up, just fall back to 1, 3, 1, 3. That's the basic beat. Trin says you are doing super well, keep going, you can do it.
Thank you.
Are you ready for the hard part?
Yeah, sure.
Do everything the same way except the hi-hat, and only hit hi-hat on 1 and 3.
Yeah.
And you will need to open this. Forget this for now.
Why?
Now we need the window shutting sound here.
Yeah, definitely.
Dee, 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 dee.
I need to reboot. Okay, I'm not gonna torture you anymore for today. Okay, let's call it a day. Oh, Jesus! This is the hard part. So okay, come here. So seriously, Tamás, is this the hard part of the song, of the drum? Speaking of drums, or is there going to be like something a bit more?
I think in terms of the beats in the song, that's probably the hardest one. There might be one. There might be one or two drum breaks,
Yeah.
which might be a bit more technical, but those are just short.
Mm-hmm.
So it might be easier than keeping this beat going.
Anywho, this was not Smells Like the Teen Spirit.
Getting there.